Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the NTT Indycar Open Series here at Sebring International Raceway. I'm Austin. I'm joined by Marco Barbonera, and we're going to respect the bumps today in this lovely Florida weather. 78 degrees in the air. Marco, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. This is a unique layout which I've always wanted to commentate the race on. Also, I just noticed, I don't know, Austin, if you're looking at the track map on our layout, it kind of looks like an Italian gesture, you know? The one gesture that we do all the time, and I have never noticed it.
It's a elongated gesture, I must say. It reminds me actually of the old Austrian Grand Prix circuit, the one they used to hold on the airfield right outside of the current A1 ring.
Oh yes, I like the nostalgia touch there with the A1 ring, but yeah, this track of course used in real life by IndyCar for their testing. Austin is very excited because of course we have had the first, I think, livery unveiling of
there have been a few livery unveilings throughout the week.
And I have to say that, going on a little bit of a tangent, the new US livery is absolutely beautiful, but the new Arrow SP McLaren livery is also fantastic, and I cannot wait, and this is true, to see the way the halo will work on these cars in iRacing, the aero screen more than the halo, because it looks absolutely fantastic. As you can see, qualifying is over, and let's go through the starting grid.
Taking pole is Azure Catapati from California with a 53.336, followed up by Philip Cross, Liam Rance, Will Lamb, Stephen Perfect, Clark Archer, Simon Bryant, Scott Sims, Thomas Ziger, Aaron Smith, the Savvy Ninja himself, John Downing, Richard Holt in 12th, followed up by Yossi Neiman, Charles Bacchio, Sherwood Van der Sloot, Laura Gearhart, Alessandro Roccatello, and Alessandro Dalladone. The Alessandros holding up the very last row of the grid. And you were saying about the halos. Well, that's coming hashtag iRacing soon.
Oh yeah.
Insert clock here.
And of course, I made you run through the grid, forgetting that of course we have a pace lap now. Not as long as the full pace lap in the full version of the racetrack, of course, because we are running the modified, but still, this is going to be a nice, relaxing view of the racetrack. We are going to enjoy, like you were saying, the weather seems to be absolutely perfect, and I cannot wait for this race to start, because I think it's going to be a great one. One of those tracks that the series doesn't visit very often, therefore I think that the drivers will have to be on the you know, planted on their feet, not make any mistakes. Everyone is gridded up apart from Aaron Roofs, and we are just about ready to start
he's having
this
a chat.
race lap.
He just wished us to have a good broadcast, and now he's hopped in. Thank you, Aaron.
So risky moment there.
Looks like also, I'm looking at all these cars gridding up right now. We were talking about this in the Homestead race, but it looks like everyone's using that high downforce package.
Of course, the bumps, you were saying, are going to be an important part of the race. I think the bumpiest track. What are the differences, of course, Austin, between this modified layout and the proper full 12-hour of Sebring layout?
All right. Turn 1's the same, and turn 2 is not the same, because instead of going left, you go right, and it's a very tight right as they're going through this tight right now. And as you can see, you barely fit 2 cars through there. And then the rest of the track is very the same, except for the ending of the straight. Usually you have that long, famous right-hander. Not here anymore. You're going to have a actual race down to a point with a hard braking zone, and then it's a sharp right-hander, kind of a hairpin, that feeds back onto the main circuit. I prefer this end to the straight because I can actually hit it, unlike that other flowing, sweeping corner. And that's pretty much the main differences of the modified layout versus the full layout.
Man,
It's a very interesting layout. It's a very interesting layout to be racing IndyCar. So.
Sunset Bend in the traditional 12-hour of Sebring track format. Every lap I hit it in a different way. Like, it's incredible how tough that corner is.
You can see Sunset Bend right there. It's saying goodbye, hello, Sunset Hairpin. As the Ford States Guard goes through there, Ajord Katapati leading off the field. The States Guard is going to be pulling off right now, and we are about to go green flag racing here at Sebring. Good clean start so far. Everyone's getting through turn 1 very nicely, but how's turn 2 going to come up? I saw some carnage here on Monday. Very tricky into the braking zone here. Everyone's taking it fairly nice. A few people went off track right there. The exit much nicer than Odyssey, and everyone went through there cleanly. Thankfully, they got the memo before the race. Great start by Clark Archer, jumping up 2 spots, but Alessandro Dalladone up 5 places from the start. He's right behind John Downing right now, and he's looking up for that inside line. I was talking to Alessandro before the race today. He didn't practice once until 40 minutes before today's scheduled race. That's peak Alessandro Dalladone right there.
Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see. It didn't work in sorry, it didn't work in Motegi for him last week on the oval. Let's see if it does this week, as we have a little bit of a mistake there for Philip Cross, our winner, of course, last week, as Aaron Roofs is going wide as well there at the hairpin. As you can see, as you can notice, the cameras for this track are actually located in Daytona, despite ourselves being in Sebring, so hopefully you brought some binoculars.
Oh! Aaron Roofs is around, big crash at the back of the field. Roofs got turned around, John Downing's involved, Zyger's involved as well.
Let's get a replay straight away and see what happened there.
Looks like coming out of Le Mans, Aaron Roofs has gone to the curb up onto the inside. It's got netcode turned. Oh, that is very unfortunate. And we got another car turned around as well. John Downing's around again.
Yeah, he's
coming out of Sunset Corner. Was he rear-ended or? Let's see. Into the braking zone. Very nice. Oh, just a little bit too hot on the spice right there. Chaos at the back of the field, as it's pretty much calm running back out front with Kanapati leading away by 1.4 seconds.
Absolutely, as they are about to finish already another lap. As you can see, very quick laps around here, as our Roofs is still having some issues. Of course, that car doesn't look straight at all. Yeah. That is the low downforce package for today. Unfortunately, no one wants to use it. Yusin Eminem, one of the legends of the series, always been here providing the setups for the community. And unfortunately, never really been a front runner, but he's always been there. His work for the community has been absolutely fantastic. Now being put under pressure by Alessandro Roccatello, a driver that we see fairly often in the Saturday night SOF race of the Formula 3.5, which is of course coming back tomorrow on the Racing Esports Network at 22 GMT with yours truly and Austin.
I would also prefer to be called yours truly as well, but I see. Actually, no, that's more your thing. You keep it. I'm the American here. So riding on board with Bruce coming out of the pit lane after repairing his car from the pit stop. These times are kind of compared to oval times, honestly. 43 seconds. 53 seconds is a very slow Indy 500 lap. And I'm guessing that is also a relative time to times you usually see around the Coca-Cola Speedway.
Oh man, don't get me started on that. I am so excited for the return of Coca-Cola Speedway. You cannot even begin to imagine how happy I am.
Did you just confirm Coca-Cola Speedway? I just wanted to bring it up.
As Kanky Patty goes wide, Scott Sims with an issue. Oh, big issue!
Scott Sims flipping up and down, side to side, over and over like a roller coaster. What is that? Did he just kiss the wall? Yes, he did. Whoa, whoa, oh, sit, oh no. Oh no.
That
well,
is
I know
what
the local rodeo is going on right now, and that was definitely a wild 8-second ride for Scott Sims.
As we see, I think a bit distracted by what happened there. Van der Sloot missed going for a spin. Ooh, that was a very close call with Charles Bassio of France. But yeah, I mean, that was. I mean, out of nowhere, I saw his name pop up on the timing screen, and I said, "Well, he must have gone deep." Oh, Liam Rance with Clark Archer, a great fight here.
Side by side for third place between Rance and Archer as they're heading through Le Mans right now. Archer edging his luck right there, and he's definitely on the hunt for Liam Rance. It's an American 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. You got Liam Rance ruining the American 1, 2, 3 right now. And
what
no,
a
there
jinx!
goes France!
What a jinx, man!
Big jinx. And I cannot be blamed for that because Cody Smith in the chat, that's all on you. Liam has Bleep of Steel, can't crack him, and unfortunately, just too deep into that corner and around he went. And now it's an American 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The situation at the front, of course, helping a bit this duo flying away, Kanky Patty and Kraus. Clark Archer now in fourth, but look at Simon Bryant is trying to close in on Will Lamb. Let's jump on board with Bryant, of course, one of the more recognizable names. Let's enjoy the bumps from this camera, you will see. Oh, look at that! It is absolutely incredible the way these open wheelers can handle these massive bumps of Sebring.
Yeah, the suspension is very, very adaptive as Bryant sends it up the inside of Will Lamb. Lamb taking that inside line now of the side-by-side tight modified course. And it's going to be Simon Bryant swinging around the outside of Will Lamb. That corner is so disruptive. I remember running this layout in the Skippy, and I was totally fine. And I really want to thank Jalen on the Sticks for following us over on Twitch.
Oh, of course, the club layout has been added as well to the AI portfolio in iRacing. Very fun driving around there with the full field of 41 skippies, as I've been doing earlier. You know, it's absolutely fantastic. Oh!
Whoa. So that's why you weren't answering my calls.
Don't be jealous, man. We talked about this. We don't wash our dirty laundry in public. Charles Bassio is having some issues, killed some cones. And that car seems to be okay. I think
he's
just
got
a
damage.
spin. He's got damage?
Suspension damage. Yeah, his wheel is pointed right. already, so let's ride on board. Just struggling.
That car looks fine to me. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You are absolutely right.
Yes, it does. We said that, but he was in the middle of a turn. It's pointed straight.
Pointing straight? Okay.
Yeah. Back up front, Ajor Katapati pulling away from his nearest competition as Philip Cross has a little trip in the grass. But this track is so fast and so few corners to actually mess up on that any small mistake here, you're going to lose a big amount of time to the cars ahead of you. And like most of the field, they've been having a lot of trouble behind the leaders. Liam Rance trying to get past and back up to the grid, was sitting in third place earlier today, then had a unfortunate spin on the exit of that corner that we just went through. And now he's on the back of Richard Holt. Rance looking down the inside, sending one underneath the yellow line. Easy as pie for Liam Rance. Up into P7, and he goes off the track. Gonna be honest, I think that helped him kind of.
Yeah, he had you know, a little bit more launch when he then pushed on the gas, having taken a bigger arch through the corner. So disaster averted. Up to 7th place. Let's see the biggest movers and shakers. Biggest mover is Alessandro Dalle Donne. P9, 9 places gained. So far the biggest loser, of course, unfortunately, is Scott Sims with his big wreck on the front stretch a couple of laps ago. Speaking of laps, we are
tumble.
Yeah, I mean that was not ideal. Let's put it this way. Lap 13 started for the leaders a few seconds ago. As you can see, everyone trickling in. The moment they cross the start-finish line is the moment you see their lap times pop up, so you can have an idea. And of course, if you really want, we have the gaps here on the screen, the track map on the right, and if you haven't had enough, in the description you can find our live timing page with all the live timing information. I think it's now fully customizable. You also have a short rundown of the series and all that nice stuff, thanks of course to the guys working behind the scenes, Lee Thompson, Pascal Iglin, and all the other that are behind our beautiful, and I have to say a pleasure to work with this fantastic STK gaming streaming platform. Fight for third.
A pleasure being worked around such wizards as those guys, as Bryant and Archer getting nose to gearbox here at Sebring and almost getting into each other. Simon Bryant's going to have a big old run coming out of Le Mans. He could get a good rush out of here. And especially with push to pass on, he could definitely get a good old jab on Archer.
Listen to the limiter.
Yeah, the limiter popped off hard right there. He's got a very short gear set for this car. And look at him coming out of Sunset Corner. Great run on Clark Archer side by side heading into turn 1. And he just sends it up there. Simon Bryant is on the podium for P2.
A very nice move. Seems like that is the preferred passing spot. That first corner there. Despite the braking area not being as hard, I would say, the braking as this one here at the end of the Allman Straight. I think the drivers prefer to take a more conservative line and braking here and then go all out when it is time to push hard coming out of the final corner and then into turn 1. And also because it's a very, as you can see, very tricky final corner, as you were saying earlier, Austin. So maybe drivers don't want to risk, as we had a little bit of a problem for Thomas Ziegler.
Yeah, this has been the trickiest corner all day. Just we saw with Aaron Roos getting onto the curbs, heading into the entrance of it, but we're also talking about the exit. Just getting on those curves, just kind of shoots it out to the grass, but great save by Zyger. Not adjusting the wheel or yanking it to get back on track. This is Lord Gearhart, I believe, doing exactly the same thing. Inside curve, outside, and that outside of the track gets so beat up in real life that it's actually caused a little ditch to form on the outside of those curves. So if it actually rains and you watch a race there, it will shoot up just rockets of water, kind of like geysers.
Having been in the 12-hour race last year, I can say that was the point I made more off tracks, as Rocatello going on the attack of our season 4 Las Vegas winner, Sherwin van der Sloot. Rocatello completes the pass and goes in front. I mean, that is the best thing you can do there is what both Ziger and Gerhard did there, was not to panic. You lift, you keep the wheel straight, and you come back, because if you try to push hard on the gas, especially I can imagine with the new tire model V7, which these cars don't have, if you try to floor it while on the grass there, you are going for a big spin, and of course there is nothing better than spinning in front of the pack. Was it the, I think, 2014 or 2015 Sebring 12 hours where there have been massive crashes, including a couple of them with prototype challenge cars spinning, going back in iRacing style in the middle of the racing line and collecting unsuspecting prototypes and GT cars.
I believe that was 2016.
There was one of those years was a disaster.
Both those years were chaotic, I know that.
Yeah.
But 16 forever lives on as never again. Speaking of never again, attempting endurance races, do not expect... Ooh, wow, big slide for Sherwin van der Sloot. Do not expect me to see me on track for the Bathurst 12 hours. I will not be attempting that.
No, me neither. I will stay clearly away, also because we have more important commitments. Also, we're broadcasting, but we have also more important commitments this coming weekend.
That's on Sunday.
Archer is trying to keep up with Bryant in this fight for third place. At the front of the field, it's 4.2 seconds between Arjuna Kankipati and Philip Cross, last week's winner. It's so nice to have Arjuna back. He's been absolutely fantastic after his months-long hiatus for work reasons. It's very quick. Let's go here with this fight for 13th place. Yusin Eminem, Charles Basio, and John Downing, who is continuing his trend, Austin, of a very up and down season. Sometimes at the front of the field, sometimes he's at the back of the field. Rarely as an in-between race where he's in the middle of the pack. No, he's either at the front or at the back. This could be a very nice fight for P13.
It's looking already like a good fight. Basio looking up the inside. He's going to send one heading into the sunset horizon. And Basio makes a great move in the braking zone, getting up into P13. That's what we're calling that corner now. Horizon.
Downing made a mistake, by the way.
Sunset bend. Yeah, Downing had a bit tricky corner entry. I believe this was a lockup.
He disappeared from the relative. He went very deep and then slid. So it's not the first time he has a problem in that particular corner tonight. Really doesn't like it. It is our race leader. Gaps in real time on the left side of your screen. 5 seconds almost over Philip Cross. Then 16 seconds over Bryant and Archer. This fighting duo here. They are both putting in their fastest laps of the race. Personal bests of both Bryant and Archer.
And he's 47 seconds ahead of Lord Gearhart. Well, actually, Gearhart, I believe, is the lap down. No. Yes. Gearhart is a lap down.
Yes.
He's 48 seconds ahead of John Downing. When Downing is next car ahead, as you see Downing going into turn 2. And just in the background, you see Katapati right there. And when the leaders start coming through here in a road course, and you're in a three-way fight, this could get spicy. And I like my battles like I like my tacos. Spicy.
Oh, me too, man. Me too.
Jerome Katapati heading into Horizon Bend. Right after Sunset Corner. Is the reason why I called it that. It's a hemisphere joke. But yeah, this track is the bumpiest track in all of USA because Circuit of the Americas has been repaved. And I get to see it in action on Tuesday for the IndyCar test. So it's going to be very interesting to hear what the drivers compare last year to this year now, especially with the track repavement. And there's a move up the inside. And it looks like Neidemann has been overtaken by Downing. Downing sitting in the draft. Obviously, Neidemann going a bit slow on the straight. Here it comes Downing, sending it down the inside into Horizon. And what a move by John Downing.
Oh, Daledon is still in the race. Surprised that we haven't heard from him in a while. He's been stuck in 9th place for a bit. Speaking of real-life racing, you know, he's of course in 48 hours he will be on a plane and he will enjoy the final week of Speed Weeks as Liam Rance is going wide. Yeah, he's right there in front of them.
Wide, straight in front. This could be a three-way fight, but it's going to be giving Richard Holt some good drafts to try to pull away from Alessandro Daladone, who will be at the Daytona 500. So all you Alessandro Daladone fans, go bother him there.
Yes.
And Holt looking down the inside, but look at the run that Daladone has. Daladone going down onto the inside, up the inside, heading into Horizon Corner, getting back on track, and he makes the move stick. What a move for Alessandro Daladone. Up 10 spots. Let's get a replay of that because this went crazy up the inside. Daladone just edging his way down there and then just slowly, aggressively getting his way back on track. That's cutting the course slightly. But what a move.
Of course, very short laps, but still pit stops are required in this race. Here comes Roccatello.
Roccatello heading into the pits, and oh no! Vandersloot is off the track in turns 2 and 3. Turn 1 looks just fine. Heading into turn 2, we're going to see a lockup. Yes, we do. Sharon Vandersloot, one of our strategic winners in our first broadcast season at Vegas, which I still look at as one of my favorite finishes in this series. Top 5.
It was a great ending. The first great finish that we had. As here comes the race leader.
Kind of bonding on the back of John Downing. Pit speed limiter in these cars, but Philip Cross is going to retake the lead here. And he could get a good lap in right now because Cross has a clear track around him.
Brian stays out, whilst Archer and Lamb are both coming in. Stefan Petrat is coming in as well. Let's see Daledon and Holt We're still in a fight. The Redonne
Staying up.
continues. All continues.
Canapati coming out of the pits right now. Oh, Canapati almost getting collected right there by Alessandro Dalladonde, who was coming through turn 1, and they went side by side, almost got into each other. And Kraus is in the pits. Right behind Yossi Naimanen. And Canapati is in a big old train as they're heading into Horizon. And he's got Alessandro on his tail. Is Alessandro going to send one up the inside? He is not. Because Alessandro is looking like he's going into the pit lane. Yes, he is with Phil Cross. And here comes Canapati. Cross coming out of the pit lane. It's not going to be enough as Canapati retakes the lead here at Sebring.
That's a lap car of Nieminen. Moves out of the way very gentlemanly as per usual. We expect nothing less from a driver like him. So let's see who comes out between Dalladonde and Holt.
It's going to be Dalladonde. You know, I was expecting somebody, these stops are very fast stops, 9-second stops. Big slide for Liam Rance.
The wall.
I believe these guys are not taking tires. Big slide, getting close to the wall.
Let's see what the race leader did.
This is Canapati behind John Downing.
No, sorry, this was a wrong replay, as per usual. I wanted to check his pit stop.
Yeah, it was longer than everybody else's.
No, they are changing tires. It's just like, I think it's just a
Okay.
splash of fuel, you know, so... Change the tires, and here we go.
Side by side action between Holt and Zeiger. Zeiger looking down the inside of turn 2. Had a good old run. And he's pulling out the whole GoDaddy car, as we made a reference to it last time. Last race at Twin Ring. But this is the actual car.
Yes.
And the actual number as well. No, it was 7.
No, 7. Yeah.
Okay. Zeiger down the inside. Holt defending right there. Zeiger going to break it around the outside in Horizon corner. Side by side they go. Zeiger and Holt still side by side as they're coming out of the final corner. Zeiger's got a good run. Holt is defending onto the middle of the track. Here comes Zeiger looking down to the inside. Side by side they go. Heading in to turn 1. Holt taking a very wide line, wider than the turns at Daytona, to keep P9. What a defensive move by Holt. But this fight's not over. Thomas Zeiger is still right there. Another great battle heading into turn 1. Downing and back heel. And here's Alessandro Dalladonde in a fight with Petart. And that as he picks up his 11th place gain today. And he sits in P7. What a run for Alessandro Dalladonde.
Another move. So the more the race is progressing, Austin, the more we are seeing moves here at the final corner. I knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It was too good to be true, honestly, when he said he only had 40 minutes of practice and he hasn't even done one lap yet. I was just waiting for this to happen, and, well, it's happened. Dalladonde heading into turn 2, taking a big off track and a big old slide, but that car is looking still fine as ever. A little bit dirty in places. And he sits back down in P8. Still the biggest mover on track. Tiger's still trying to chase down Holt. Big old bump right there. As they're coming down this straight, Zyger is in the draft as they're heading into that corner. Very late on the brake. Oh no! Coming out of Horizon, Liam Rance has spun around again. And he's struggling to keep that car going straight.
Get a replay very soon. Let's follow this fight into turn 1 once again.
Is just taking too much speed through there. Oh, it's that bump on the exit.
I like that he went full Grosjean on it, pushing hard on the gas pedal, just like he did in Barcelona.
Oh, and Zyger looking around the outside into Horizon. Zyger's just going to chop the nose off right there and get P8 easy from Richard Holt. And now his next target is the battling Alessandro Daldone and Stefan Petard.
Listen to how slow they are through that corner. Like the engine is almost turning off.
Stalling. Yeah, the engine is pretty much stalling out. You have to enable the clutch to keep it enabled in a few cars. Luckily, the Indy cars have an anti-stall in. And ooh,
Simon Bryant is having issues with this connection. He should be back.
Yeah, he's back.
Keep an eye on the clock, or more on the lap times on the bottom of your screen. As the Daldone is trying to come back, you see that big red, orange, 2 plus 2.554. That was the lap 31 where the Daldone spun. As Sherwin Wanderslot is having some issues.
You know who's not having issues?
See if we can find him.
Kept it out of the wall. Didn't know my voice could go that high when I'm in high stress modes, but apparently it does.
Well, after what we did last week.
Yeah, that is true.
I still haven't had the guts to go back and listen to it.
I have. It hurt. No, I'm joking. It was fine.
This could become a very nice three-way fight. I'm sure that
this
the drivers...
is already four-way fight, honestly. Holt can catch up to these guys.
Yeah. Holt is, you're right, Holt is there, yeah. So let's stick on board with Ziger.
Oh, big slide, Daldone collected! Daldone, he did get collected, but out of nowhere, giant slide. Daldone doesn't seem to have any damage as he jumps up into P6, but big hit for Petard, who just got very aggressive on the throttle. He knew they were behind him. He knew he had to do something. Got some grass on the outside wheel and just throttled it up too much, and oh, that was scary to see.
Sorry to cut away from the replay, but Richard Holt went around.
Oh, this is Holt. Big hit.
Okay, so let's rewind the tape and Let's see what happened. I think Daledon got away with it.
I think Daledon got away with it. Oh, the iRacing gods were in his favor right there.
This is Richard
And
Holt
here's
then.
on board Holtz behind Zeiger, just got onto the curb and big hit right there. And back live, Daledon and Zeiger battle for 6. Here comes Thomas looking down the inside. Daledon is there. He's going to make him go around the outside into Horizon, and Zeiger got the corner cleanly, and he's going like daddy right there. And Simon Bryant's out, and he's not come back. Well, he's making appearances along the track. He's coming through the space-time continuum, and Bryant's back on track.
Space-time continuum is something that is very, very important. So I think it's in the utmost interest of everyone that you keep yours intact.
And if you do travel into different dimensions, especially different timelines that are in the past, do not mess with anything. Unless you're going to open up a different reality. That's Lord Gearhart getting out of the way of Downing and Basio. Some drivers are wishing they had a time machine right now to warn them of this race and try to get a better result. Would definitely be Aaron Roos and Scott Sims. We saw Scott take a tumble and Roos just have a massive hit into the wall. But this track is so short. Look at how many people the leaders have lapped right now, up to 10th place, and he's on the back of 9th place right now.
Only 10 laps left for the race leader and all the other drivers on the lead lap. 4.6 seconds the gap between Kankipati and Cross. Then Bryant, Archer and Lamb round up your top 5. Top 5 which is more or less set in stone. The only issue could be Bryant as he keeps disappearing and reappearing. As you can see right now, once again, he has left us. Oh, Bazio with a
here. Oh, into the pit wall.
Oh man,
Bazio.
he's stuck.
He's stuck and he's out. What's happened here? Charles on the exit of Horizon, on the back of Downing, big old bump onto the exit. Oh, just unsettled the car and he took a big slide into the tire barrier.
I don't know if you saw in the not top 10 of this month in iRacing, there was a beautiful parking maneuver in the Nordschleife.
Skippy.
But this is very, very close to it.
Dowdone just went off track, but he seems to regain himself and continue on. But yeah, I saw that parallel parking job. Very well handled.
Van der Zoot doesn't like this corner at all. We might be seeing some penalties very soon, even though we are at the back end of the race, because especially that slow hairpin there, it's really caused some major trouble for the drivers. Most of them have gone wide at least once. Others have been have spinned there also. Let's check in with our weatherman Austin Knight as we are hitting the final 7 laps of the race.
So we're sitting a few minutes away from the end of the race. It is a cool 78 degrees here in southern Florida, 42% humidity in the air, 94 degrees on track, partly cloudy skies, 10 mile per hour gusts here on this 2 p.m. local time in South Florida. A good day to have a good old lunch and maybe go out to a local park. And that is your weather here today at Sebring, Florida.
Simon Bryant drops, comes back once again. This is not easy for him and for everyone else that is involved in fights or going around lapping him, of course. Still keeping third place.
Genepot. Yeah, see Nineman getting out of the way. Such a nice guy. And, oh, whoa. What is Bryant doing?
Oh!
I think he was trying to give Nineman a little bit of line, but Clark Archer taking advantage of the situation. He's 2 seconds behind Simon Bryant. And Clark Archer made a more aggressive overtake on Nineman, trying to chase down Simon Bryant.
See the
Cross had a little bit of an off track.
Gap between
That's
the pair of them
going up. But you can see how the times kind of spike in between. Cross has been having a bit of a off-track excursion every 2 laps. I'm thinking, oh. Well, that's a change. Looks like Canapati is starting to slow up. He was held up by traffic a little bit. And that's played into Krause's hands.
Let's keep that gap on the screen because it is dropping. Let's see, Krause has got a little bit of traffic but not much. You can follow that on the minimap. So we always, at this point of the race, when stuff like this happens, Austin, we always start to wonder, is it just management, is a bit of fuel saving, is a bit of maybe too short of a pit stop? Let's see, gap now drops again. 54.690 and wow. 53.8, okay.
Canapati is looking in his mirrors and his relative because Krause is free of that lapped car now. And that lapped car giving him a big old run down the straight. And to quote King Chin in chat, oh Lord, he coming. Thank you, Fluffy, to teach me how to do that. Bring up the relative once more. Canapati headed through the straight. Right now, his lap time was a 53.9. Here comes Krause. Krause across the line. 53.92. Krause is slightly gaining on Canapati. Canapati does have traffic ahead of him now. And this is John Downing back in 11th in Horizon.
Yeah, doesn't like this corner
a little bit
at
too
all.
Excited. Now, so many cars have been doing that. It's actually the iRacing relative track data or dynamic track data has actually put in tire lines that have filled out there, and there's actually rubber onto the inside of the track now. If you haven't played with dynamic track data on, use it. It's beautiful. Oh, this is not what Canapati needed. Right ahead of the Velocity racing car of, I believe that is Liam Rance. It is Liam Rance. Slowed up ahead of him, and he did hold him up on the exit of turn 3, and he's still there. It's not what Canapati needed. He is pulling away from Krause, but Krause is going to get a big gain of time right here. Here's Canapati easily through Horizon, but Krause had an issue. Krause is going slower and slower. What's happened to Kraus? Because he's back to a 4-second gap.
Yeah, he
And
lost
Canapati,
in both laps.
Canapati, even while being held up, pulled away. So with just 2 laps remaining, Azura Canapati is stuck on the back of Zeiger and Alessandro Daldone. Nope, that is Liam Rance and Daldone. Oh wait, that was just Daldone and another lap car. This track is so small that the battles are happening around lap cars. We can't really know who's battling who. Because that's Daldone ahead of Canapati as Saint Marco.
Sarella Blanca here in Sebring.
Last lap here at Sebring in this modified layout. Canapati, very dominant race today. 3.5 seconds separates them. He's got a good drafting partner to be with, Alessandro Daldone. And you can just hear how short Canapati's gear. He's not even shifting up to 6. Believe he's saving fuel now. He can save all the fuel he wants as he cruises across the line. Final corner to go. Taking the win is Arjuna Canapati, followed by Philip Cross as Simon Bryant and Clark Archer having a little bit of race, but that is going to go to Simon Bryant. And yeah, Philip Cross did have an incident coming into Horizon. Car slid a little bit. Whoa! Ooh. Heart and mouth moment right there. That could have ended badly for Kraus. See him shaking the wheel like, oh, can't believe I did that. And this is Alessandro Daldone. Will Lamb finishing up in 5th place. Good race by him. Pretty much stayed in that spot. He did drop down a spot. Thomas Zeiger finishing up in 6th, and right behind him, taking the biggest mover award, Mr. 40 minutes of practice himself, Alessandro Daldone, up 11 spots. But all eyes are on Arjuna Canapati as he takes P1 at a little bit of the bubble. And here are your results. Arjuna Canapati takes the win, followed by Philip Cross, Simon Bryant, Clark Archer, Will Lamb, Thomas Zeiger, Alessandro Daldone, Liam Rance, Alessandro Roccatello, Richard Holt, John Downing, Yossi Neidemann, Stefan Pertat, Laura Gearhart, Sharon Vandersloot, Charles Bacchio, Aaron Roos, the Savvy Ninja himself, and Scott Sims in 18th. What a interesting race. I knew it was going to be an interesting week because the track was so unique. But wow, that was up there with interesting factors.
It was, and it was very, very, very exciting, unique kind of event, in my opinion. I like when the series visits these, lesser-known racetracks, so to speak. All for it. Schedule. I really like the schedule this season. I'm liking even better what's coming up next week, because my favorite oval is on the calendar, on the menu for you guys. It's going to be a 160 lap race in the sunset at beautiful Iowa Speedway. Man, I'm so excited. It's by far my favorite oval. And short ovals in this series need to give us something back, because the last time we were at a short oval, say the spectacle was not very good in Richmond. It was marred with crashes, and we had a boring yellow flag finish. So Iowa really needs to step up its game and give us the race we all want, and we know that these short tracks are capable of giving us such exciting events. We have also interviews coming. I'd say, Austin, that we start with the race winner.
Yeah, so let's start with Mr. Kendapati himself taking P1 very easily in a dominant race as well. Welcome to the interview booth, Ajorna. How was that race for you?
That was an interesting race. The first stint was really, hectic because Philip was really, hounding me and keeping me on my toes. But I built up a nice little gap, and after the pit stop, I tried to take it a bit easy. But just a few incidents in traffic. There's a lot of cars and hard to pass around here, and I lost a bit of time. So ended up being a bit closer than it was at the stops. But yeah, still a good race.
It looked very easy for you. We were talking about pit stops. Your pit stop time was a bit longer than Krause's. Do you take a splash of fuel and tires, or what was your fuel strategy for this race?
I had the full tank from the start, but I think just I missed my mark slightly on the pit stop, and that I think cost me more time than anything because I came out behind a lapped car, or I went into the pits rather with a lapped car, and I came out a few seconds behind him as well. So I think it was more just me missing my mark than anything else.
All right, we were judging on it because it seemed very fast, but everyone was having a very fast pit stop, so we were guessing that fuel was just splash and go here. Next week is Iowa as we return to short tracks. Will we be seeing you there?
Definitely, gonna be something interesting, and it's gonna be good having the Power Slide team, able to help me for next week. Never having run a race at Iowa, so lots to learn, and only a few days because Monday is the strength of field race that's not broadcast. So yeah, time to get practicing on the next one, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see you in Iowa next week. Before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, just everyone at Powerslide Motorsport for being so welcoming and helping me since I joined the team, and everyone at Artifact Racing for continuing to support me on the road side of things. So yeah, thank you.
All right, you have a good day and congrats on the win.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
And now, let's have a chat with our third place finisher, Simon Bryant. Hello, Simon.
Hey guys, you hear me okay?
Yeah, I mean, first thing I want to ask you is speaking about your connection, because especially in the second half of the race, you seem to drop in and out quite a few times. Was that concerning you?
I didn't even notice on my end, so I'm not sure what was going on. Nothing as far as what was happening in front of me. So, but I heard after the race that I was kind of coming in and out, but it didn't affect my driving or times at all. I don't.
So, tell us about your race and, of course, how did you approach it, considering this is quite a unique layout for this series?
Yeah, I kind of like it. Not a lot of people do, but I kind of like the short tracks, fast paced. Is a lot of fun. Had a great start to the race. I didn't qualify quite where I wanted to, but I know I can make up some places. So made three fairly good passes at the start on the first 10 laps or so, and then from there it was just managing the gap to Clark. He was very quick in the latter half of the race. So just trying to stay ahead of him was a little nerve wracking, but overall I'm pretty happy with their place on the road. Ovals usually are bread and butter for Team Sadie, and getting a good road results welcomed.
Well, you like short tracks, you like ovals. What about next week then?
Yeah.
Because Iowa is coming.
Yeah, we're pretty excited for Iowa. One of our better tracks, I would say. So as long as we can keep it clean, I think it's gonna be.
Well, Simon, thank you very much once again. Congratulations on the podium. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, all the guys at Team Sadie, obviously, and yeah, all the guys who made it a clean race out there today. It was a lot of fun. Sorry about my connection. Hope it didn't ruin the broadcast too much, but yeah, glad.
Thank you very much, Simon. And once again, catch you hopefully next week. Have a good night.
Sounds good. Thanks.
That was Simon Bryant. And next we have the biggest mover in the field today, up 11 spots with quote only 40 minutes of practice. Alessandro Dalladone, how you doing, man?
Doing great, thank you.
So you told us in the most Alessandro Dalladone fashion ever that yeah, I just have 40 minutes of practice left in the Discord. So I would say thoughts and strategies going into this race, but I just believe you just drove it, didn't you?
Yeah, that's always the correct strategy to go with Indy. Started at the back because I didn't want to cause chaos in the first few turns because better to beat. Here comes Alonso. What? Stop bullyism here, Barbanera. We had a nice fight anyway with Holt and also Thomas coming back from the back after probably a mistake at the start. Obviously, I needed to make some mistakes because it's tough to get a clean race with such amount of practice. But overall, a very good race. I had a lot of fun. A bit of crazy excursions off the track, but that's part of the deal. When you do not practice a lot, obviously you're going to make mistakes. But thanks to Marcos, crew chief Ben, I managed to get a very good result, hitting my mark as I short fueled the car at the pit.
Mark, I believe you have some questions for Alessandro.
Yeah, how excited are you about Daytona?
Definitely very excited, but don't speak about Daytona. I want to point to one thing. I had a blast on this narrow short track. I wish all the other community managers in iRacing would give a try to this track in their respective series. I don't want to name anything, but probably people know about some series doing 3 minute road courses instead of nasty and short road courses, which suits more the unnamed car. But as you can see from this race, it was very action-packed and lovely racing. So hopefully this could be a nice showcase to other community managers and put this nice track onto their schedules instead of Grand West Virginia layout.
Perfect, Alessandro. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
Yes, I want to thank Ben for providing a great crew chief tonight. Thanks to Wolfpack Esport for letting me showcase his beautiful livery and providing me with the setup. Thanks to Aaron Roof and Matt for, if I didn't get the name wrong, pretty bad with names. And to you guys, obviously, for providing this nice broadcast. Catch you in 2 weeks.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Alessandro. And yeah, have a good trip as well. I think, Austin, we have like last second one more interview for us tonight.
Yes, we do. It's gonna be very short, unfortunately, just like his race was. But I believe he'll be happy to give us a insight on what the heck happened on the front straight. Scott Sims, ladies and gentlemen. Scott, what happened?
I'm still relatively new to iRacing and getting used to everything. And apparently, there's a well-known bug on the wall right there that jumps out at you when the wall separates from concrete wall to the removable barrier. And it's I mean, initially I did like scrape the wall, and just like an oval, I would just lightly drive off of it, no harm, no foul. But this time, when I tried to lightly drive off of it, it reached back and grabbed me. So I don't know. Maybe we can put a word out, see if they can look into fixing that once for all. If it has been out as long as they have. But I just want to say, I guess, great race to Kankapati. Kankapati, I think I said that right. And then a teammate, I think he had a great qualifying effort, P3. Liam Rance did, and looks like he's still getting some of those bugs out, those kinks out, since he just got the car last week, and he's still working on a few things. So hopefully he can rebound and maybe try not to spin out as much as he did from today. But he still had a good result.
All right, thank you, Scott. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
My team, ASN Velocity Racing, and you guys for putting the show on every week, and for having me on. And yeah, and I'm glad the Chiefs won, by the way.
Hey. Same here. All right. Thank you, Scott. You have yourselves a good day. And we're going to wrap it up here from Sebring. Marco, any final words?
Well, I agree with everyone that said that they like the layout. I really love it, and would like to see a little bit more shorter, not all short tracks, but some of them, here and there in the schedule, which again this season has been exceptionally good. Will be absolutely amazing. Cannot wait for Iowa. That's coming up next week. Again, being one of sorry, not one, being my favorite oval of them all, and of course. If you haven't had enough of us, of Apex Racing TV, we have 2 races for you tomorrow. The first will be at 18 GMT. We are going to have the beautiful Euro V8 Championship back with a sprint and feature double header from Suzuka Grand Prix. And then later on the iRacing Esports Network at 22 GMT, you are going to find myself and Austin Knight broadcasting the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship SOF race from Circuit Park Zandvoort. So a good Saturday of racing coming up. Austin, time to close the shop.
Thank you, everyone, for watching us here at the NTT Indycar Open Series on Apex Racing TV. I've been joined by Marco Promenera, and I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.